Good morning and welcome to the Gribbly's Folly Sunday Antisocial Hour, that time each week when I smoke my pipe and complain about humanity while answering all of its questions. If you're a piece of humanity with a question for me, leave it in the comments down below with the hashtag AskGribbs and I will answer any question. I am sick again. But Gribbs, weren't you just sick like 2 weeks ago? Yes, I was. I mean, didn't you lose your voice? Yes, I did. If you have a school-aged child, you understand, you feel my pain. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to, there is no excuse. There is no excuse for this. Nature. It could have been allergies. It could have been, I was up in the woods. I was in a grove of pine trees with my son. I am allergic to pine trees. Apparently, I motorboated some pine trees and that could have been what started this. But at this point, I'm kind of thinking it was just a regular old cold, but I never had the sore throat. That was the weird part, because colds always start for me right here. This is where they start. They turn on like a switch. I can feel it coming. I know what's happening. This started in the nose, and it really hasn't done anything. But a long time ago, when I was still a young lad, before I had health insurance, I went through a cold season, where I would get like parts of a cold spaced out. Like I would get the sore throat, and then I would get better and be like, oh, I beat the cold. And then like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, I would get the next phase of the cold and be like, oh, that's weird. It can't be a cold. It's starting but it was like spaced. And I know that other viruses can do that. Am I rambling? I feel like I'm rambling. We will blame it on the non-drowsy cold meds, which have stimulants in them, unlike all the other pills I take. John Galdieri asks Gribbs, is it acceptable when encountering a flooded roadway to park your car and swim? Yes. Yes, it is. I would have to go back and look at the numbers, and I am going to go back and look at the numbers because I'm still preparing for my Helene preparing video, my video about what we learned from Helene in terms of prepping. But yeah, like in the flood of 21, the Buncombe County Sheriff's people, EMS, whoever, those guys, the heroes, they did, I think, 3 swiftwater rescues. It was like low single digits. And then in Helene, they did something like 150. It was crazy. But if you're going to be washed away by a flood, it is better not to be in your vehicle. Then John follows up with, what are the top 10 items everyone should have in their go bag? John, thank you for using the correct nomenclature. It is not a bug out bag unless you are Rambo. Who bugs out from their house willingly? I don't get it. If you're a prepper, you have prepped, which involves lots of items. How are you going to carry all the items in your bug out bag? Bugging out makes it seem like fun. Like if you give it something a special name, you're like preparing for it in a positive way, whereas go, no, it's time to go. Top 10 items. I haven't done, I have not done a lick of preparation for this video. 1, a good fixed blade knife. Mora knife is fine. If you spend more than you would on a Mora, it's because you want to, not because you need to. 2, food. 3, water. 4, shelter. SOS bivy is a good one that I use. B, a deck of playing cards. C, sawed off shotgun. 9, condoms. And 10, I'm gonna say a friend with a gun. I'm sorry, John. I'll do a better job next time, I promise. All right, Cascadian Piper says, also, the liquid in a pipe's bowl is probably a product of combustion and not from your spit. Remember middle school science? No, I do not. No, who does? Who remembers middle school science? 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus light energy arrow 6H. New rule, no one smarter than me can respond to me in the comments. That's it. New rule. When you expose these hydrated compounds to a high enough temp, they react with. You're already breaking the rule. Your comment. I imposed the rule mid comment. Cascadian Piper. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Don't get me wrong, he says. I accept and validate your experience as a Sialahorian. Let's Google this. It means someone who drools. I'm not feeling well, and you want to kick a man when he's down? Yes, okay, I might drool a little bit, but you don't have to point it out. This has been your Sunday morning Mr. Wizard moment. Damn. All right, who's our next question? Cascadian Piper again. Ask Gribbs, if lane 1Q is Sprite, what kind of soda is Northwoods? I think Northwoods is going to be one of those fancy root beers that's like $9 a bottle, and it's really, really good, but it's not worth it because it's just root beer, $9 a bottle, so you never actually buy it for yourself. But then, you know, you wait for someone, you like put it out there amongst friends and family that you're one of those root beer snobs because you got kicked out of the Eagle Scouts for smoking, and so you can't enjoy tobacco anymore, and you just like root beer. Seriously, you know the people I'm talking about? It's like guys that want an unhealthy habit, right? You walk right past tobacco and alcohol, and you get to root beer. You want to be a bad boy, right? But you just can't bring yourself to do it, so you get into root beer. I don't know. I love root beer, but Barks is fun. Not as fun as Northwoods, though. Northwoods, it has a little extra nuance, so it would have to be something better than Barks. That is all the wisdom that I have to impart to you today. Thank you for watching. I hope I feel better. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.